Hey everybody, Coach Matthew here with episode number 8 of the Mountaineer MIGHTcast. I took a couple weeks off, but I am back breaking down some of those previous games as well as how I think our season is going to turn out here with just 2 games left before we start the playoffs and the tournament. Stay tuned. Like I mentioned in the introduction, I took a few weeks off. I appreciate y'all joining me, coming back into the channel and staying up to date as to what is going on with both of the teams. I'm gonna go ahead and get right into it. I'll start with the minis, then I'll break into the juniors, and then kind of come back again into what I think we will see here at the tail end of the season. So let's start out with the minis. They have been able to get back on a winning streak the past few weeks, which has been awesome to see. The team is really playing well. I mentioned it earlier in the season and kind of coming back to it again. The best strength that the minis have is their depth overall. They don't have very many players compared to some of the other teams. We only have 8 max. And then occasionally one of those girls will actually end up being out. So that puts us at 7. So luckily a core group of those girls have been able to be there every single game and continue pushing. So they have been able to get back as we started the season. They had a pretty good win streak going. Went through a couple games where we had some ties there, and then we're able to get back on the winning ways. I believe as of right now, I'm not sure, we use an app called Team Link that we're able to see the schedule, but for some reason, I cannot look at any of the previous games. So I can't be 100% sure when I say this, but I believe they are on a 3-game win streak. Now, again, I might be wrong on that one. They might be on a 2-game win streak, but I know the minis have been playing well the last couple weeks, so it has been awesome to see them get back on track, but without having that schedule in front of me. That's kind of how it goes. I do believe they are going to be doing some either 1 or maybe 2 more rematches to end their season out. There is more teams in the junior division. I do know that we replayed one of the teams this week. We replayed the Orange team. We played them the very first game of the season for the minis. They were able to win. My minis team was able to win 3-1 the very first matchup. We were also able to win 3-1 in this last one, but overall, great effort. I do want to, not that they would watch, but if the Orange team was watching, I do want to congratulate their coach because I have seen a lot of improvement out of that team throughout the year, even just playing us. Even though we won again the same 3-1, there were some good volleys in that minis game, and some of those girls were really coming along, and I love to see that. Not just the development of my team, but all the teams. I've talked about it in previous videos that I like the entire league to be lifted up to a higher level. And there's some great coaches down at the minis level. There's some good coaches at the juniors level as well. The minis, though, you're getting a lot of players who have never played before. At the same time, too, a lot of younger players. So when you get into the junior and senior division, especially as the girls are older, obviously they have a little bit better time of putting more power into it, getting the ball over the net. I'm not sure about the senior division, but I know that the minis and juniors, the net height stays the exact same. So again, you just have a lot younger girls. So seeing them get serves is always fun, even if it's not on my team. I love to see girls at the beginning of the season who couldn't. Now they're able to get some of those underhand serves, and also the progression of some of the other athletes in the league that went from underhand and are overhanding serving. There's not a lot of girls who can do good overhand serves in that minis division. So those who do, it's awesome to see just from a coaching standpoint and a player development standpoint. So shout out to the Orange team. I really do like their coach. I think she's got a great program on that team. It was originally, I think I meant to mention the other one, it was originally supposed to be Braylon's team. Luckily, I was able to get her back with us, which has been a blessing. One of my favorite players to coach that I've ever worked with. And she played great game the last couple. I know, and I don't believe I did the MIGHTcast. I'm trying to think. One of our athletes, Aspen, a couple games ago, she started getting her overhand serve, and that was one of the coolest moments to see. Sometimes when girls struggle with the underhand serve, they're able to just kind of forget it and move on to progress to the overhand. And she was one of those athletes that's been able to. I think it was 2 games ago. And again, I may be wrong on that one, but I do want to shout out and give her some credit. I know her family has watched these videos or listened, so great job, Aspen, on the overhand serves. I know the last game probably wasn't as good as you liked, but the previous game, it was amazing to see. And the other cool part about that, with watching her and the overhand serves, you could see her confidence shoot up. Now, this goes for any girl. When the serving goes bad, usually everything goes bad because girls lose their confidence. And confidence is such a major part of the athlete's game at this level, at any level, but especially this one. When they come up and the serves just are not going, you see usually the defense suffers, but was not able to see that game. Aspen crushed those serves, and then her defense, she was all over the court that game, and that was awesome to see. She was making great plays, and I'm always looking on that minis team, who is the player that's going to step up? I know I challenged another girl on that team, Lily, a couple weeks ago, that I really wanted to see her become more of a leader, and when things got tough, to see her mental toughness in those moments. Earlier in the year, I felt like that was an area that she struggled at, but the last couple games, Lily has done exactly what I wanted because she's one of the more experienced players, and I know that when she looks to get to the juniors and transition, that's the next level of some of their games. And you don't have to be the super loud, I don't want to say obnoxious, but some people can be like that as leaders, and they're just chirp, chirp, chirp all the time. The girls on the minis team are really not like that. And you don't need to be a loud leader. You can lead by your actions. You can lead by example. You can go up and just be the player who, gives another girl a high five when she messes up and stuff like that. And I do want to give Lily credit. I have seen a definite step up in her mental toughness over the last couple games. When again, that's part of the progression. I am going to hit on the other minis girls here because I don't want to just shout out a few of them. I want to hit on the rest of them. So Aspen's sister, Aubrey, I have 2 Aubreys on that team. I've seen a lot of improvement out of her. That's also another fun one to see. Some girls already start the season, even if they're new. Some girls are just naturally pick it up. Some take a little bit longer, and I've seen a progression in Aubrey and her serving. It's always cool to see her get a serve over, as well as her defense. I've talked in previous ones. Again, I'm not a super stickler for serving. I understand it's part of the game, but I don't need people to be great servers. I just need you to be good and get the ball in bounds. But I do put a lot of emphasis on being good at defense, and I really like to see the progression there. And I've seen a lot of that out of Aubrey, which has been awesome to see her develop defensively and just continue to build up that confidence to go for balls and not let them hit in front of you or expect somebody else to get it. Sometimes you're not sure if they're your ball or somebody else's, but I've seen her get after that ball, call them, and attack, which has been awesome to see on that one. Another player on there, Aurora, I've seen a lot of good stuff out of her in the last couple weeks. One of the best, I've always said, like, her trait, one of the coolest things is she's a great teammate and really helps the other girls on the team and will just still, no matter what, goes up, gives the high five, tells them good job. I love seeing her support. I appreciated them. They supported us, the juniors team, the other night, coming to the juniors game, which is, to me, one of the coolest things when the juniors go to the minis and minis to juniors. And again, we're creating a program and a culture. It's not just 2 separate teams. Even though they practice together a lot of times, they don't always practice together, but they're together a lot. It's awesome to see that, and that they can still go up. I know some of the juniors will come up and break down in the minis after their game, and then the minis are always welcome over with us, because that's what we want. Again, it's building a program and helping all these girls progress through their stages. On that, let's see, Kayla, who is another girl on the minis team who has done amazing throughout the season. Been kind of trying to mess with her serve a little bit, getting her in a better position, but ultimately she's got some overhands, which is good. She's right on that level. I believe she'll bump to the juniors in the fall if she continues to play, but she can be a great player, and you already see the natural athleticism out of her. So I love to see where she's at and where she's continuing to develop. Let's see, we have another Aubrey who I want to get back to, who I have seen come out of her shell this season, which is, again, I know not every girl on the team is quiet, and that's, I'm totally okay with that. I like the girls who can bring the energy and have fun. Aubrey's one of them. She's been crushing her serves. she was a case, and I'll talk about it a little bit with Addie later on when I get a little bit more in depth on the juniors, but sometimes players will just randomly flip up something that they've done well for a long time. For instance, her serving, beginning of the season, she was really rocking her serves, and then she kind of went through a spurt there where the serves just weren't consistent. So myself and the other coach, we kind of looked at it, got it figured out. We realized that she had started dropping the ball on serving versus tossing it up. When she was tossing it up, she was killing her serves. When she started dropping that, and again, it's just a small little change that sometimes the players don't think about. It ended up costing her quite a bit, which I felt like laid into her defense a little bit. Like I said, the confidence thing, but she's been able to get her serves back under control. She's become one of my most stable servers, like especially because she ends up, a lot of games, she gets up in very tough serving spots, but she's been crushing it, which has been awesome to see there. Again, I talked about Braylon earlier, but I do want to give her a little bit of a shout out in the very last game against the Orange team. She chased down a ball pretty much into the crowd and was able to hit that back over her head. She's just a blast to watch as a player. Again, very coachable, never gives me a hard time. I can joke with her, but she really takes it serious. I love working with her and just seeing the plays that she makes. I've told her mom too, if she continues to play, the sky is the limit for her. Just what I see out of her at her age. Again, she does have development stuff. I would like to get her going overhand, but I believe she's like 8, similar to Addie, or 9 years old in that area. So a little bit younger, so there's time to get that. Her underhands are fine, but defensively, out of any league I've played in, she is up there as one of the best defenders at any age, and I've coached girls that are high school level. She's just an amazing defender and very, very good, skilled fundamentally. So got to give her kudos. We have Kendall, which has been a real treat coaching her this season. And seeing how she progresses. The one funny thing I always say about Kendall is her hairstyle definitely dictates a lot of times how she plays. And I like to be silly with the girls too. The juniors may not feel like I'm ever silly with them. I'm pretty strict with them, but especially the minis. And seeing Kendall, I know if she comes with the puffy hair that she's going to be rocking some balls in that game. But she's a great teammate, and I know she wants to get out there and she puts in the effort and the work, and it's awesome to see. And, in practice, she'll break down sometimes and jump on defense to hit balls. But in the games, the last couple games, she's had some great defensive plays, and that's been awesome to see her development come along. So that makes me happy to see that too. Overall, all the kids on the minis, they've been a blast to work with. Juniors, the same. Minis, I've talked in previous ones, again, we won the division last year, and I've only got one returning player. So this is a brand new team for me. There's some girls who've never played before. I did want to bring one player back, because if we do, it's cool to have a player return and get back to back with that. Everybody else, had moved up to the different division or moved on to a different team. So minis they're just going along, doing what they're doing. When I talk about the tournament here at the end, I'll kind of bring them back in. I know a majority of this, sorry, many parents, if you're watching, I'm going to kind of jump to the juniors, because the minis they're just winning. They're just doing what they do. They're just fundamentally just a strong, sound team, and they're developing and they're peaking at a good time. They face the struggles early on, and that's always tough when a team like my team last year, when we went through and we went undefeated for so long. It kind of started to get to you as a team. You're like, man, are we gonna lose one? Are we not? Then you get to like 3 games left, 2 games left, 1 game left. And then it's the sigh of relief that you completed the undefeated season. So that's great. Well, now we got to go through the tournament, because again, if you go through the whole season undefeated and you get knocked out in the tournament, yes, you're still happy with what you accomplished during the season, but it's not going to feel the same without that championship. So they were able to, the minis team still has not, I believe they have not lost. I think they've tied 2 or 3 games. I believe it's 3. Again, team linked being down. I was going to go back through and check these, but I can't see the previous games. I believe they've tied 3, but they haven't lost. And similar to the juniors, which I'll touch on them in a little bit, they're winning the major sets, and they're just doing it. They know what it feels like to lose and what they have to do to get better. So there's not that pressure on them there. But I'll kind of come back here when I give my predictions towards the tail end. Again, the minis are practicing great. They're doing what they need to. That team's strength is its depth. They have a lot of girls who are good players, and there's not many of them, so you don't really have to sub out compared to some of the other teams. So I realize that's a little bit of a blessing in there. Plus, I can spend a little bit more time developing those girls because, again, less players, less reps that they have to share with everybody else. Plus, they also get to work with the juniors and get to play them quite often. So they get the experience from that. So overall, just definitely happy with that team. That they're a blast. I really hope I did not leave any of the girls out on that. I don't believe I did. If I did and you're one of the parents watching, I am really sorry. I'm trying to pull it up. Again, I have no notes for this. I just talk as I go. And so in my head, I'm talking, but I'm also thinking about the points and the different stuff of all the girls. I believe I hit all of them on talking about what they've done, and just a blast of those girls to work with. If I did leave your daughter out, I'm sorry, but I've texted all the parents and told them all the things that I like, that I've seen from them, and what improvements. And that is one of the things with me as a coach, which is kind of funny because other parents have asked in the past, well, can we approach you? Can we talk to you? Do you have to wait, so much between games and stuff? I'm available. If you need to text me, text me. Even when the season's going bad, I still want to give feedback, and I want to be honest with parents, in that experience. And I definitely feel like I have been. I mean, some of the parents probably say I over communicate stuff too much, but I want the parents to feel part of this too, but I also want them to know that being on our team is special. It is. We really invest a lot in these girls. Not that the other teams don't, but I try to do things to make them feel special. I've talked about it in the other ones that I want this to feel like a club just without all the financial responsibilities. But I want these girls to feel part of something. I want them to still put on their shirts after the season and be proud of this. And I know when the season ends and the parents, they ask, oh, we would love to have you again. Can we have you coach again? And, what are our plans, my plans going forward with coaching, and know that they want to come back and be part of this. So I know I may share a lot, but that's because I'm definitely just in general, I want to have everything mapped out in the beginning and make sure that everybody's aware versus you're trying to find out stuff later on. Plus with running two teams and a lot of different moving pieces, and I'm so busy with my other stuff, I just want to get it out to everybody. So again, if I did leave your daughter, I'm sorry, but just know every girl in the minis, very, very proud, happy to be their coach this season and see where they're going to go at the end of the year. No matter what, I can't say it so much last year. The minis team last year, I felt that if they wouldn't have won that championship, that I would have let them down, and that their season, I don't want to say it was a bust, because it wasn't a bust. It definitely would have put a really rough go on the end of that season, especially with how me and my daughters just really attacked getting better and winning that championship. And I wanted it so bad for those girls who trusted me and us to come back with us to get that. Regardless of what happens with this minis team, I feel like this was a very successful season. A lot of new players. And I've seen the development and growth in all of them. But overall, no matter what happens to that team, whether they get beat in the first round or they go on to win it, that their season has been worth it. Absolutely. I would say so. Again, the parents may say different, but I would definitely think so. And I would say the other two coaches would agree with that. So moving on from the minis right into the juniors, I know that's probably the meat of some of this. And I know some of the juniors coaches, you're watching it. I know you are, and that's okay. And again, I try to be respectful in all these and talk, but I want that because again, I want to continue to grow the league and build the league, and I'm sure they do too. Not that it's just up to me, but little things like just me live streaming games. I've noticed other coaches doing it now, and that's awesome. I agree. Make a page for your team, get that stuff out there, celebrate the players, do the stuff like we try to do, or I try to do with putting up the pictures. It's game day. Trying to do a variety of different stuff. I will admit I have been bad this season about going back and watching the games and trying to stat everything out. That one's a little bit tougher for me to do just based on where I'm at right now compared to, and it's two teams. I don't want the minis to feel left out or the juniors to feel left out compared to where I was at before. More sets overall, there's just a lot more to it. So I haven't been able to go do that, but I'm still trying to stay pretty frequent on the page, and we're practicing and playing all the time. Honestly, it feels weird. The nights where we have nothing, it feels really, really odd because we're just volleyball, go all the time. And then, when the end of the season comes here in a couple weeks, at least there's summer and there's stuff going on for my kids. But I mean, from my standpoint, it just feels weird when we don't have stuff. But we're going to continue to do stuff. But the juniors, all right. So we got some ground to cover here for where the juniors are at, because they have just went through the gauntlet of the top tier teams in the juniors division. So I'm not sure the last time who we had played, because we had a couple games there where we had like a Sunday, a Wednesday, and then we hit a bunch of stuff. So I'm going to kind of go back a little bit here and talk about, I might be, I don't know, 3-4 games ago. Again, doesn't really matter. So we played a game against one of the teams that we thought, according to the standings, now again, you could say this about us, but our standings are very, and I talked about this in another post, our standings are very, very skewed because of the ties. If I was going to look at a standing and I see a team that has maybe like won or lost like 1 or 2 games, depending on where you're at, but they have a ton of ties, that tells me that team probably has a really strong group, and then another group who's kind of developing and playing a little bit better. And that's our team to a T. We have a really, really strong core of girls, and I would say the best 6, and I'm going to bring that up here. Whether the other coaches like it or not, if they are watching, I will stand by that, and I kind of have the proof on that one to show it. But anyway, and then we have a group of girls who they're good, and they can all be A-team players. It's just there's a lot of inexperience out of them. And just trying to get them up, as well as the confidence thing, which I'm going to bring up as I hit the games. So anyway, kind of going back a little bit here, we ended up playing a game against a team that we thought they were going to be lower on the standings. So you're probably thinking, well, they're probably not, I don't want to say as good, but they're not doing as well. Again, I really don't want to harp on any teams here. So if I've been one of those teams before, so I don't want to say they're not any good, because that's not the case. There's good girls on every single team, and I'm going to talk because this is going to prove it right here. Their season just may have not panned out the way it wanted to. Believe me, I didn't want all the ties that we've had by far, but there is some silver lining in all these ties that I think are going to make up for it here at the tail end. And again, I'm envisioning this. I believe it's going to happen. It's all going to come full circle here at the end, and it will make more sense as we get towards the end of the season here. But we played a team that, standing-wise, was not the best. Boy, they came out and gave us HE double hockey sticks right from the beginning. And I thought we would buzzsaw through them like we had with most of the teams in the first sets. Right now, my juniors has yet to drop the first set of the season. They have been on everybody, and they have been on everybody really, really good in the very first set. And I'm going to talk about my strategy in a little bit with that here coming up. But I thought for sure, because we had went through most of the teams at this point, that I was like, the first set's going to be easy. That was not the case. This team came out and they served lights out on us, and we had to fight back. I believe it was the orange team in the juniors division. So kudos to that team, because you gave us a scare on that one. Like every other game, let's see, we tied that one, but it was the hardest fought game, I would say, out of the entire season right there, because the juniors came out. We played the black team early on, and I'll talk about them here in a minute. They got up on us like they did in the championship, but they got their 13 points. We were able to kind of turn the tide, jump up on them, and we never really had to look back in that game too much. It was close at times, but we were able to pull away and win that one. The set. We didn't win the game. We tied them, but we won the set. And I feel like in the last 2 to 3 weeks, I've got the chemistry of the two groups that I want. And for, I don't want to say A team and B team, but that's basically what it is. That's just what we're going to say, 1 and 2. Even though there are good players on both who could play in both, it's just kind of where the chemistry I've seen of this team has worked out to be at. So that was a tough game, and that was a wake-up call to the girls. And it's like, listen, we can either be the team that's like our record shows, and we can just be the midline team, or our record can be deceiving, in that we haven't dropped a first set all season. And when I actually have the starting crew in the A team or, team one crew, their average margin of victory is 14 points in the first set. They just go. It's just, there's a thing I'm going to come up to here in the end and kind of bring it back. But that team is strong. I said it a minute ago, and I believe it. I believe they're the best 6 in this entire league. We're going to try to prove it here as we get into the tournament. But that orange team really, really came out and shocked us, and they were serving great. This is where I believe the counter to it was, because we train so much on defense, and yes, we do serve. It's just not a major part of my practice. We do a lot of defensive stuff, where I feel like a lot of teams, and this worked out great for me last year, a lot of teams focus a ton on serving, and that's fine. I don't care whether the serves are hard or they're super fast or all that different stuff. I just want them to be in bounds, because you have some girls who can just barely dink it over the net and teams still struggle to return them. We're one of those teams at times where it's like, where I'm watching a girl serve and she's not much above a mini level serving, and the girls are just messing up constantly on it. So it doesn't always need to be a hard server that comes in, but our defense and how much we work it and the fight and the girls definitely saved us in that game. We were able to come back, tie that one, and get out of there, and basically that was that was a close call against a team we were not expecting. So I definitely think we underestimated them, and you do that in the tournament and your season's over with. You cannot underestimate these teams going into it. So that one, that was a tough go there. Then after that we played. Now I'm going to give you the standings from what I remember. I'm not currently sure what they're at. We played the second place team, which was the red team. At that point, I had solidified the 2 main groups of my team. And the red team's second place. I'm not sure how they've done against the other teams. Obviously, I know if I believe they played the blue team. If they played blue, they've either tied them or lost to them, because that blue team is undefeated. But there's still 2 games to go, so I'm not sure if they've played each other yet. So we played the red team. And just like we do, we buzzsawed them in the very first set. And come on out, I believe, with that game, dropped the second pretty good, won the third one, dropped the fourth one. That's kind of the story of our season so far, but I'm going to change that here in a minute. Again, strong team. Second place, we're like 4th or 5th as far as the standings go. But again, when you're not tying, you're not going anywhere. You're just sitting in the middle of everything. But the first team did what I expected them to do, and I know they're capable of doing. That's what I got out of them. We laid it in early, jumped up, and they couldn't come back in the first set. The other sets, they are what they are. That's just kind of how it is. So then we get, now this is where it was tough for us, because we end up going against the second place team, the first place team, the third place team, all right around each other. So let's go on to the blue one. This is the undefeated team that has, from what I was aware, from what parents have said, and I know I said earlier in the season that, probably us and black were probably the 2 best teams. Well, there's 2 other teams hiding out there that I wasn't aware of, and that's cool with me. The better teams, I like it, because you're going to get pushed. And we go against them, and I had no idea. I knew they were good. Obviously, their record had shown that, but I didn't know they'd only dropped 1 set. And like we did to everybody else, we buzzsawed them in the first set. I believe it was a 14-point margin of victory, and I'm sure they weren't expecting it, because if you look at our record, you're probably thinking we're no good either. That ain't the case. We jumped out on them, and I don't know who they lost their other set to, but I'm sure it was a what the heck moment, because whoever did beat them in a set probably didn't beat them the way we did, and I knew it. I knew the first team is capable of this all the time, just all along. Now here's where the game gets really, really interesting. So we have 11 players on our juniors team, so one of the girls from a set has to play with the second core of girls. It does not matter who I have put in that set, whether it's Alina Addy, whether it's Zoe, whether it's Jolie. I would say the girls who are more consistent in the skills, the upper skills I put in that set, And we just have not been able to pull sets out. I think out of all the games, one, if not two, have we been able to really do something and win out of on that set. And I'm not going to fault her. I'm just, again, this is what I'm explaining. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's tough because I know the chemistry of the first group very, very well. I know who they practice with, who they play well with, and who their game gels well with. I'm trying to learn that with this second team, and it's very, very tough because they're not as consistent overall in practice. So I'm not seeing, okay, well, this person's really fast, they go get balls. This person struggles a little bit more, but they're good at this. It's just different. And it's not because I'm so over-focused on the A team. A lot of these girls I've coached before, and I know how their game goes with each other. The B team's been a little bit of a tougher struggle there. And again, to me, and I've told the parents this, and this does matter. If you wonder why is my kid on the B? Why is mine on A? It's consistency. It's consistency in play. That's the main thing. If you're, and this is a prime example. Addie is not the best server in the world. Now, again, it's my daughter, so I'm going to talk openly about her. I don't want to talk about the other girls like that. Addie, now, can she serve? Yeah, and I'm going to bring this up here in a minute because I talked about it with one of the other girls earlier. But her serving has not been as consistent throughout the year as it usually is, and she's getting older. Girls are getting better at returning it. Where in the minis group, when she hit some of these serves, they wasn't a chance because they were low, right above the net, and they were fast because of her weird sidearm toss and hit. It's just a different type of ball versus the traditional underhand ball. Plus, she's putting a spin on the ball. She's putting a forespin on the ball, which is pretty rare at this age group. So, when girls hit it, the ball is going to change to the trajectory that it goes. And at this level, Addie hasn't been as strong, but where she is very strong and consistent at is defense. That's the other thing. I talked about it in some of the other videos. If you truly, if you're a parent, you really want to break down your child. If you re-watch the game, look at how many points that they produce and score versus what they give up, and look at that ratio of, okay, well, she had three serves on score, but she gave up 8-9 points of defense. That's a negative ratio. That's not a very consistent play. Where the other girls, the consistency, it's like they may not be great at one skill, but they're really good at another skill. And it's complementary towards each other for what I need in a coaching standpoint. So consistency matters. The other thing is the girls in the first group, for the most part, and when I get back to the game here, I'm going to bring this up. The girls in the first group can shrug off the plays a lot quicker than some of the girls in the second group can, and that's the confidence thing. I'm going to say it, and I say it all the time in here because I have re-talked about a lot of this, but it is very important. Confidence is one of the most, you have to have it at this age. I tell the girls all the time, everybody's going to make bad plays. Everybody makes bad plays. Even when I scrimmage against the girls, you're going to make bad plays. I don't care who you are. Professionals do at any level. Doesn't matter. And you're a kid on top of it. It's, can you bounce back from that? Can you bounce back from 2 plays, 3 plays, 4 plays, 5 plays? Can you serve bad and then get beat 3 or 4 times on defense? And can you shrug it off, not quit and just or act like you're not there? Can you shrug it off and continue to fight and go? And that's one of the things out of the first team that you see is the girls will maybe make a couple bad plays, but they recheck, they refocus, they're ready to go. Where some of the other girls, a couple plays in and they're done for. Their confidence is shot. They're not where they need to be. And you're seeing that happen. So the consistency of play, the development of the skills, and then at the same time, you have the confidence killer. And if you're out there and you're not confident, and I want to phrase this different. It's like a dead space. Not that the player is dead necessarily or not trying, but if I'm looking at the 6 spots on the court, because you maybe a little bit, but you really can't run offenses in this league because you can't rotate, you can't do the right stuff necessarily. It's pretty much when she's just down and out over here and the other 5 spots need to make up for that. It's very, very tough to do so. And I get they're gonna have those struggles and those problems. It's how quick can we bounce back? And I know I put pressure on them too because I care. If I didn't care, I would not coach the kids hard. I would just show up at practice, mess around. They'll have however they do in the game is whatever. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to prepare them, try to get the most out of them, try to make them better athletes and individuals on and off the court. Believe me, it may not be easy sometimes, but you just got to do it. And I'm sure the parents, I'm sure you tell the girls this. I try to instill it in them as well, that it may not be going right. You may get 3 or 4 questions wrong on a test, or just your day's not going your way. You can't quit. You can't give up. You have to continue doing the stuff, whether you like it or not, whether it just continues to go bad. You just have to keep going. And that's what I want to instill in them with the confidence side of stuff. And not all girls bounce back. I mean, there's been games where my kids have not bounced back properly, or it takes them a while to get home after a devastating one and really try to bounce back and get their confidence back. It's just the girls in the first group are exponentially better at being able to do that a lot of times. And not all of them. And there are good girls on that second group, but that's what I've seen throughout the season. And that's me and the coaches, because again, I talk to the 2 other coaches. We see these things, we read these things. And even if the girls are not telling us, they're talking to our kids. So we get an idea of how they are. And again, that's the mark of a good coach, is to read those things. I do not like the rule where if a girl's really, really struggling, and it's not because I want to get her out because she's playing poorly. It's not what it is. It's that if she's giving up point after point after point, and then she's nervous about what her parents think, now she's nervous about what her teammates think or what the coach is thinking, and then she's just stuck out there, and the emotions get so overwhelming and they're just out there. There is times where you need to be able to pull them back in, and in this league, you're not allowed to, which I do not like. I understand. I told them to fight through, but there's sometimes you're not fighting through it, and you just need to come over to the sidelines and get with your teammates or your parents and have someone put their arm around you and tell you it's okay. Now, you can try to do that quick on the court, but the game is moving and stuff, and so that's a tough part for some of these girls. And again, if you're a brand new athlete who's never played this, and you've got girls who are 5, 6, 7 seasons in, and they are just rifling it down on you, and now you just feel horrible. It just snowballs, and that's a tough thing to see happen out of the athletes. So I know I kind of went off there, but I'm going to get back to this because I want to talk about the games and kind of push through here. So I ended up putting Natalie with the second group, because again, she hadn't been with them, and I know how my daughters have done, I know how Zoe's done, I know how Jolie's done. They just struggle because they're trying to do too much with that in that other game, and it wears them out. Well, same thing happened to Natalie. Very overwhelmed because, again, yes, there are girls on that other team who can play well and do well. It's just not the same as the first group. Most of the time with the first group, you definitely know what to expect. And like if you hit it near Addie, you know Addie's going to go for it. Some of these girls in the second group, they're still learning the game. They're not sure when those seams, whose ball it is, where it's at. The reaction's just a little bit quick, a little bit more delayed compared to some of their girls. And then you just start having stuff happen. And all of the girls who step in to help play that second set, they've all just been overwhelmed. And that's what ends up happening. So we play the team, we crushed them in that very first set of the blue one. The second set did not go well. So we come into the third set. So we're going to bring the first crew out. Now, again, Natalie hasn't had a rest since the beginning of the game, and I can tell she's flustered. She's just flustered because that's what's gotten to every girl in that second set. And I'm sure if you're one of those girls playing in that set, I'm sure the feeling sucks. And believe me, I'm trying to do everything I can to prepare you to not feel like that and get the wins. Sometimes the balls just aren't going where you need them to go, and that's part of it. So anyway, we get to that third set, and I could tell it was a tough go. And I give the blue team credit. They came out serving hard in that third set, really got my team out of whack, mentally, physically. It just did not go well. And that first group, even though they have not lost a first set all season, and they've been crushing it, they lost, and they lost in the third set. And so I don't want anybody listening to this ever thinking that I'm blaming the B team or the second team, because they haven't been like that all season. There's been different girls moving in and out, and me trying to get this together, and that's not what it is. Again, that's not the point of this. The first team got their butt kicked. I mean, that's all there was to it. Now, they were in another game previously where they absolutely got hammered, and one of my daughters was, in the set. I believe my other assistant coach's daughter was in the set, and they're two of the stronger players on the team. They just got hammered. I mean, that was one of the games I think they got beat 25-4. And it was just like, what in the world? It happens. And that's what I saw. The confidence broke down in the girls in that third set. They were waiting for somebody else to do something. They weren't playing how they normally were. They were so scared to mess up. They were just making fundamental errors, all of them. It didn't go well for any of the girls in that third set. The blue team jumped up. So now we got to get to the fourth, which usually for us, we win the first, drop the second, win the third, drop the fourth. That's how we've ended up with where we're at with our record. Well, didn't happen this time. Started out very weak, came back very, very strong. Alina put the girls in a good position, got them back. Now she was rough. Again, parent-wise, she started out the game on defense and she got cooked. She got cooked bad to start. Alina's not the strongest defender out of my two kids. Addie definitely is. And Alina's also still lugging around that wonky knee brace and everything else with it too. But it didn't matter. He just outserved her. It is what it is. And so they got down. They had to fight back. Alina got them in a good position. She had 6 serves in a row, crushed it, brought the teams back. A couple other girls did pretty good on their serving. I know Sophia had some, Milani. I can't, if you're watching this and you're like, my kid did, they may have. I can't tell you off the top of my head, because again, it was a rough go in that game to get out there. They had a chance, and then we had 3 girls, I believe, come up, and serves just went out of bounds. And I get it. It's just, that is my biggest thing as a coach, is if another team beats you, so be it, but don't beat yourself. And that's what frustrated me with it, is because it's like, listen, all you got to do is get the ball over the net. I don't care if it's hard or not. Just keep it in play, because if it's not in play, it's not helping us. And unfortunately, the girls just couldn't keep the ball in play, and we dropped a very close fourth set to that team where we were right there. Now, again, if you look at the scores between the two, we won the first pretty easy. They won the second pretty easy. They won the third pretty easy. We were very contested in that fourth one. They were the better team that night. That's all there is to it. Unfortunately, we couldn't pull it out, and that's a tough one. But there is the silver lining. When this tournament comes, we're not playing around. The fourth sets of the season have been the Achilles heel of my team this entire season. I'm getting serious here. So I'm gonna sit up and look at the camera, because I mean this. In that tournament, all bets are off, because there's no fourth set. It is the best of 3, and my first team is getting everybody right now. Expect it. They are more determined and motivated than ever to come out. Now, I've got to get a couple of these girls. This is on me as a coach. I've got to get a couple of those other girls on that other one to click. And we need them. We need them just as much as they need the first crew. The thing is, in that tournament, is with 3 sets and 2 very distinct teams, every girl has to play 1 set, which is fine. We get to that third set, game on. If the second team holds their own and wins it, we're totally fine there. But if you see us all season, we have yet to drop the first set. We have only dropped, I think, the third twice. And one of them was by choice, because I rested the girls. I could have kept them in. That first team just brought them back in. But the gym was incredibly hot, humid. I did not want to, because I know how they are, and they go after balls. And I'm like, I don't want to lose a girl for some reason on, just heat and everything else. But again, listen to me. Where's this thing at? Okay, I'm coming. We're coming in that tournament for this, because I have been waiting all season, because believe me, it has driven me up a wall to have all these ties. And I know it has the girls too. And that goes for both teams, not just A team. B team's getting tired of it too. we're ready for that tournament, okay? So, all right, back to regular coach here and make it a little bit less serious. But just know, I've been waiting, and I put a post out, and all season it's been like, when we get to 3 sets, baby. So don't be surprised. If you follow our team, you probably won't be. If you're a newer coach, you might not like that I'm saying this, that I'm bringing this out here. Don't be surprised if we don't take home that championship. Because again, first team has yet to drop a set all season. That team will come in set number 3. They're coming back, and they're going to be ready to go. And that's set to 15. So that's usually when we play sets, the very first, we're like neck and neck with teams with that first set. About 5-6 points in, we just rattle everybody. And then towards the tail end, they kind of start trying to set and do a little bit more advanced stuff. The other teams get a couple points back. Now, could we go out there and get absolutely beat? Heck yeah, we could. The first team knows they better play their butts off. And same thing with the second team. You got to. So if the first team gets beat, second team, they've got to do what they got to do to keep the season going. So I know that may sound cocky or arrogant. I don't believe it. I know my team. I know my girls. I believe we're going to come into that tournament. We're going to cause a lot of problems, and I believe we're taking home the championship. I'm saying it right now. I believe we're taking it home. I'll get back to the minis one. But anyway, so let's go ahead and get back to the other game. So we end up losing to the blue team. I hate the feeling of that, not to them, just that we finally dropped one. Because we had one win, we had no losses, we had a ton of ties. Now we're 1-1 and a bunch of ties still. So that one's unfortunate because, again, you feel like I give them credit, but I feel like when you serve out of bounds, that's not the other team doing anything. That's just you. And so that was the unfortunate part for that game. But the one thing I will say, again, I knew the first team thing. The fight in that second team, I love to see it. It just didn't go their way. It didn't. Alina was in there with them that time, but they didn't quit. I mean, the other team got up, and they could have just given up, but they didn't. They fought back, and every girl had some plays in that last set, which was awesome to see. In order to keep that game close, they did. It's just right there at the tail end. Just the execution wasn't there, but the fight was there, and that's what I wanted to see all along. I just wanted to see him fight and give me the effort, and I actually felt okay at the end. I know they were bummed, but honestly, I was more like, give me a high five because y'all fought back, and that's what I wanted to see out of you at this point. Because it's really, really easy when the other team gets up in that 4th set, especially the season that they're having, just to be like, we're just going to lose again. Why even try? And they didn't. They fought hard. So credit to all those girls in that last set. Unfortunately, they weren't able to pull it out. And believe me, I want it more for you than I do for me. I want you to get the win so you can feel like, that you're accomplishing something too. It's not about my record at the end of the day. Again, I've mentioned it before. If we don't follow those 3 principles and winning is not in that top 3, of making sure that the girls improve, making sure that they have fun, making sure that they feel like they're part of something. I've failed them as a coach, regardless if we have a championship or not. I don't want any girls hating their experience or like looking at that purple shirt and be like, oh, I'm so glad I'm off that team or I'm done dealing with those people. I don't want that. I regardless of winning and all, it's not worth it to me. So I was more happy that I could just give them, high fives and say, heck of a job, girls, for fighting back in that set and making it tough. I'm sure, again, if you're the blue team, because we were that team last year, we weren't dropping sets, and we were up on everybody staying undefeated, and, we pushed them. We definitely pushed them. I'm sure it was a sigh of relief for them. I'm sure they enjoyed it, but in the back of your head, again, I don't know if she watches or not, or the blue team watches, the first set is what's coming when we get into that tournament again as a 14-point victory. That's what that A team does. They buzzsaw everybody. 14, 15-point margin of victory in the matches that they are in. So we'll see. They better do so. I hope they do so. Again, I don't want to come off too cocky here. And part of me, again, I've told you, it's a joke. It's a joke, okay? I do care. But, at the same time, too, my daughters take it serious. They're out in the garage hitting when they need to. Not right now because I'm filming, but they're ready to go. So then we're going to kind of come back here because we played Wednesday, team number 2. The next Wednesday, we played team number 1. Then we go team number 3, my rival black team. Now, I don't know if she watches this or not, but I did see you watch the videos and like that. So I'm glad. I'm cool with this. This is why I like these teams. I want other good competition. I don't want to just beat everybody. That's not fun. It's cool when the other teams are tough. Those are my favorite games. I told one of the girls, I'm like, this feels like a big fight feel here. Like this is the energy. This is what we want. This is the cool stuff. The best part of it when you got the teams that, like, again, record-wise, I know who we are. And so, when we come out there against these teams, it's a fun one. So we got the black team again. That's that fun rivalry. They have one of our players. We have one of theirs from last season. I would say both girls are doing awesome, and it's great for them to get a variety of coaching. Nova with them, she was with us, helped us win that championship, and now she's with a good group of coaches, continuing to develop her game. We ended up getting Natalie from them, who is with us. Again, different type of development. Both players are doing awesome, which I love to see. And again, that's my friendly rivalry with that team, because we push each other, and they may not feel that way. I hope they do, because I like it. And plus, I believe their head coach has 2 young daughters, just like me. So it's kind of cool in that way to see them. And they stepped up to play higher competition, and so did we. So, that's the other part of it too. Again, regardless how this feels, remember, half my team is mini age, and still mini age for a couple seasons. The other half is they're up there for the other ones. But again, we're young. We are young and small. If you look at us in the camera, and I'm sure you do, because when you watch it, we're like here, and all the other teams are like this big. But hey, it doesn't matter. Speed kills, even in volleyball at this age. Speed, coaching, and doing the right fundamental technique stuff, you can beat the big teams. We've proven it in all the leagues. We're always a small team. I don't care. I'm not a small guy, but I like speed, and I know how to train speed, and I know how to train fast-moving athletes. So there you go. We play the black team, and they played us tougher. They played us tough. Now, again, I told my team, I said, y'all get down 13-0 against this team. You ain't coming back, because I'm sure they are fed up with us coming back and beating them. We beat them last year. Different team, but close enough. And then we tied this year. We haven't beat them yet. We tied them. But still, it's one of those things, and so we get out there. We get to that first set. It's kind of back and forth. We jump ahead. I think we ended up winning the first set, maybe 25-18, 19, and I could be wrong. I'm sorry if I'm wrong on that. But we won. I believe they would have had to have a server and then another server come in if they were going to finish this off. So we won, and again, it was cool to see us bounce back from the previous night, which was a meltdown, come back, play a strong, win that first set again. So A team, first set. A team, I know I went like that, but A team, first set, stays undefeated with winning first sets of the season. They were able to pull that off. Let me see, I'm trying to think of this. Oh, so this is where it got good. I don't know, maybe I'm giving strategy here. So we decided, because our teams usually start a little bit slower, let's go ahead and keep the B team, and it not necessarily B, let's keep them out there for set number 2 and set number 3, which is usually what you don't see in this league. And we did. And I think it might have even caught them off guard by doing that. And then I brought back the first team again, because here's my strategy with this. Every game, not every, but like 8 of these games, we have won the first, dropped the second, won the third, dropped the fourth, and you feel like it's a loss. I talked about it very early on in the league, because you're losing the last set, and you're like, you just don't feel good. Where the other teams celebrate and they're happy that they tied it, you feel like, oh, this stinks. Here we are, we tied again. We didn't want to feel this. Not that we knew they were going to drop it, because that's a good team though. Like everybody on that team, like that's a strong team with that black team. So we were like, let's try to flip the script this time, and let's bring the starting core back in for the very last set. So we won the first, dropped the middle 2, which we actually were, I thought we were going to be able to do it in one of those. And kudos to some of the players on those ones. I saw some great stuff out of those other girls. Again, sometimes it's just serving execution happens. But I saw a lot of fight in them. And then we came back in for the 4th set, and no offense to the black team, but it really wasn't close in the 4th. They probably thought that we were going to throw a majority of the girls out in the 3rd set. We decided to do it in the 4th one instead. So we left there feeling a little bit more on a high note than we usually do for that game. And, you would think after all this, I would put on some purple, but I'm wearing black today. I don't, just is what it is. But ultimately, We tied that one, but I felt good. I don't know if the season was to end today. I'm not sure. We still have 2 games to go, and I don't think we could catch the other teams. I think we're pretty much stuck in 4th place. Which, if you were to take the seeding and play it out, as in all the top seeds win when they're supposed to, yada yada, we would get the blue team in the semifinal. Last year there was 2, but there was really 1 team I wanted to meet again in the tournament, and we were not able to. I want to avenge that loss because I know that we can, and it will be what they will be going. And maybe they lose the next game. I don't know. They will be trying to do what we did last season and win it undefeated, and then end up winning the tournament. I'm telling you, though, you are going to get your best shot out of us to win this thing. I've got 2 weeks. 2 weeks to get this team ready to go. And believe me, like I talked in one of the older ones about the fire with the white team, I would love to see them too. I don't know if we will, but I want the blue team. I want them again because I want to be the one who ends their season. And I know you said, Coach, that sounds horrible. Well, we've all got to end each other's season. Only one team can win, okay? So don't take it like malicious. But I want to be the team who stepped up with the core group and comes out and knocks off the teams that everybody tried to do to us last season. And we may not. They may just hand us our butt, and that is what it is. That's part of it. But they are, because of their record, you want a shot at the best, and you want to go at the end, and you want to know that, hey, if we did this, we got every team's best, and we came out on top of this. And that's where part of the satisfaction, if you win the entire thing, that's part of the satisfaction comes from. So if we play the black team again, I would expect to see them or red, again, pending. Anything can happen in these tournaments. It happened in the minis last year. Pending you got the top seeding or whatever, that would put us against red or black, and us and black in the finals. That could be interesting. A little rematch from the minis last year, the friendly rivalry, the revivalry, whatever we want to call that thing, just to play them again. I like the coaches, I like their team or whatever. And I have no problem against the blue team either. It's just, hey, I talked about it in one of the other videos. I was joking. I said, it's lonely at the top, and it's lonely up them for right now, but we're coming. And again, first team has yet to drop a set. You beat us in that, all bets are off, but those group of girls, they're ready. And if it just makes it even more of a fun game, so let it be. I'm competitive. These girls are competitive. That's what we want at the end of the day. And you saw there was players go down. I don't want anybody getting hurt. It's not worth it for that stuff. But I know this coach really wanted to beat us, and I know it from last year. Oh, I know it. And I know it from this year. And the post-game, there was a post-game celebration that Rolodex. It's in the Rolodex. So if given the chance, what's the old signs? Swing away. Come on, girls, swing away. This is it. This is, and again, maybe we get whopped in the first one. I don't know. But if we get that chance to come up against blue, if we get that chance, and I'm posting, be there in person, tune in Facebook Live. This game's going to have energy. It's going to bring it. Hopefully this happens and neither of us get beat out in the beginning of this thing, because that's what I want. The perfect world, I don't know, would be whoever in the first go into the second round. I believe it's the second. We'd play them, take them out in the semifinals, us against black for the championship. Sorry, black team. I want my team to win. We pull it out. We end up winning that, which would be a really, really cool thing. May not happen. I know the black team wants to beat us, the blue team, every team wants to beat us, which is fine. That's the point of the sport, though. But at the end of the day, we can still shake hands, have the sportsmanship. But again, I'm also trying to sell you on the matchup. I want you to feel the hype in this. The minis, it ain't like this that much in the minis. There is a nice little rivalry in the minis, which I'm not going to go into with my team and another team. It's not like this. But again, this is the fun part of the sport, because most of these girls are going to end up playing together when they start getting into high school and stuff anyway. And you're going to know of these players. There's players now. I'm sure because I know of other players in the league, other players know of my daughters, they know of my assistant coach's daughters, the other daughters, and who you see and what you're going to get. And I'm sure I'm guessing some of the coaches probably find me obnoxious or can't stand me, which is fine anyway. I'm not here to make friends in coaching. I'm here to coach my daughters and make my teams better. But at the same time, I want to be a good sportsmanship in this. And I want it to be fun. I want people to not just be like, oh, it's just a end of the season tournament, whatever. Like, let's build some hype into this. This is part of it. Again, my background is kickboxing. It's fight building. It's that kind of stuff. So that's what I want to see. Again, best of luck to all teams to get to the tournament. You never know what's going to happen. Players can get hurt. People can get sick. Some teams just play bad. And it all ends. The worst part, though, it does suck that teams have to lose because I know what that's like going through it. And it stinks for a lot of the girls because the friendship side of stuff. They lose playing with their friends. They move on. I mean, I loved our season last year, but I knew not having that core group back again. Like I kept some of them, but half of them had to move on or do different stuff. It always makes you a little bit sad because you get attached to the girls and seeing them develop. And we spend a lot of time together. I mean, that, like I said in the beginning, like that's pretty much my life for a couple months is spending the time with all the girls and their families and stuff. So yeah, you'll see them again, but it always hurts a little bit. Not that they choose to, but when they go to the other team, they don't have the purple. It's a little bit up here and a little, one right here. But then you forget about it when the game starts. But ultimately, like I've said before, if you are ever part of our team, you're part of our team. We got your back. We're here for you. And that is one of the things, like for instance, Nova on the black team, I always go up and tell her good luck because I hope she plays well. I don't wish ill on any kid, believe me. If a kid gets hurt or something happens, I'm the first one there to help them up or, do what I can. This is the fun part of the sport. The tournament time, the stakes are high. And then with the summer, everybody just kind of disappears to the fall, which comes back quick again. The season comes back. So I know I went on the juniors for a long time. I said I'd get back to the minis. Based on our record, we're ranked number 1 in the minis, but we had a couple of wonky ties there. I feel that the minis are going to win. I do think they're going to win the championship. And again, I know I'm the coach of the team. You could say that. I like where they're at. I'm just more confident. Now watch me be completely wrong. I'm just more confident, and I don't believe in funky forces and knocking on wood and all that kind of stuff. All right, I believe in a Lord and Savior. A different point. But anyway, I'm more confident in the juniors than I am the minis. Now that's not a bad thing. I'm really, really high on the juniors, as you could just tell. I just went on that 40 minutes about them. The minis, I do think that they're there. It's just hard to say. It's because anything can go. You can come up against a really good server in the minis team and just get hammered. And it's just different. So, but I am confident. Don't think I'm not. I am confident that the minis are going to win it too. They are in first place, which is funny. You would think my team, who has not lost in the minis, being in first place, I'd have more confidence in them winning it than I would the juniors, who were in like 4th or 5th place and won only one game all season. You would think that the confidence would be flipped, but I know the juniors are ticked. The minis, I don't think, are ticked. They're just enjoying the season, having a good time, whatever. I know the juniors, not that the minis don't want it, because I think that they do. I know the juniors want it bad because this group wanted to bump up and take a championship at a higher level. And so that's why, not to get off, going back onto the juniors one. But I think both my teams are going to. They absolutely have a shot at it. They do. I mean, yeah, every team does who's in the tournament, but I do believe both teams, they have a shot. The minis, again, their depth is the best thing going for them. The issue with the minis, the depth thing can be good or bad, because you can get, if you have to go to that third set, that can be tough, because again, some of those girls are just not, they can't come out of the game. I only have 8, and again, if somebody's gone, it is what it is. They've got to play a lot, and that's a lot of high-intensity volleyball at that point. So while your depth can be a blessing, it can be a curse in a way when you need rest, which is what we found out in the Jefferson League. We just didn't have the depth at the end to be able to compete in that championship game. They fought hard, but it's a lot. I mean, There's pressure on it from themselves. There's pressure, I'm sure, by some of the parents, because I know your parents want to see you win and see you perform good. There's pressure on from me, from the coaching standpoint. There's a lot on them. And you can say, it's just Parks. No, it ain't. All right, I've explained this over 8 videos. It's not just Parks and Rec, okay? We want the best for these kids. We want to see them build confidence. I know what that championship did for those girls last season. And I want to see all these girls get that feeling again. And no matter what, nobody can take away that championship and that season from those girls last year and what it meant to them and the continuation of building those friendships and just this program going forward. So I know I've went over an hour here, but I did want to talk about that. I have some other things. I'm not going to get into it yet in the upcoming stuff. Kind of what are, as the season winds down, what are my plans in coaching? There's some great opportunities right now. Things are up in the air right now. I'm still going to be in the sport. I just don't know to what capacity of level what I'll be allowed to do or what I won't be allowed, or if nothing happens or something does happen. I know it sounds very kind of odd and ominous, and it should be. But anyway, that just kind of throw that out there because I do get asked. People ask about private sessions over the summer and, what are my kids doing next year? Should I bump my kids up? Do I keep them down? What do we do? How do we feel? And I know when you win the championship, everybody wants to bump up. My kids are going to be the juniors for a while, though. Alina's not even, you should probably know your own kids' ages. Alina's only 10. She's not even 11 yet. She won't turn that until the fall. Addie just turned 9. They're not ready for the senior division yet. And I'm not going to keep bumping them up just to bump them. So my kid's up high. It's not about that. It's about their development and where I feel that they're at. They have skills they all need to improve at and get better at. So they're going to be there for a while. And it'll be cool to get some of those other girls up, hopefully get them back on our team. I still want, if you are, not that you are, but if you know Parks and Rec, and I know Jason and whatever else, coaches, if you're watching this, let's get together. Reach out to me because I want to change some of the rules and change some of this league and try to get some of these girls back so there's not a goofy draft. There's better ways to get players, and if players want to stay on your team, there's a way to do that if you are going to continue to coach and everything else. There's better ways to do this for both the coaches, the players, and the families involved in this. And I know that may irk Parks and Rec, but they ask us every year at the end anyway, what are some of the things we want to improve on and this and that. There is a very common thing that I've heard from everybody, for the most part, at least on my teams, is that they want the ability to go back to the programs that they want to. And I want, if girls want to continue playing for me and the Mountaineer Might program, I want them to be able to come back. I don't want them to go to a team, regardless of how this thing ends. I don't want them to go to a team that they don't want to be on, or it's not the same for them. I want them to come back, and I think that's better for the girls. I think it's better for the league. I understand you're going to have some pretty stacked up teams. That's life. You're going to come up against stacked up teams in other areas. That's up to the coaches to improve. My team was, okay, I don't want to blame my team. I stunk as a coach the very first season. I didn't know what I was doing. So what did I do? I spent the time and I invested in programs and watching YouTube videos and learning how to coach and how to get better and how to understand the sport to where I could be better for the kids. Now, I understand not everybody has the time and the effort, even the want to do that. And that's fine. Or here's the flip side. Cut down on the amount of players that are in the league and go for more quality. If you can't find coaches that really want to coach or don't want to invest in the kids, they're just like, well, kids want to play. Because I know there's flip sides to this. I know it's, well, we want as many kids in the sport as possible. I get that. But you water down the experience for the other girls at the same time too. And the other side of that is you just don't have the coaching in it. And if a girl plays and say, for instance, she's with a coach that she doesn't care for, like go to a free agent pool and then try to get to a different team or whatever. Again, I've coached, this is my fourth season coaching, if I count the the league. So there, I have met amazing girls on each of those teams that I would love to bring back. And maybe it's just I start my own club and we go that route and I work with the players who really want to take this serious and want to build on that. There are great players in Parks and Rec. I'm not going to rehash that because this thing's already getting long anyway. But I just want to get the athletes and the families in the best position to stay with the coaches they like and feel comfortable with. It used to be a thing. It did. And they got away from it. The draft stinks. I'm just going to flat out say it. Players throw the draft. I know they do. I've heard that from the very first draft, that players will throw the draft, and it happens, okay? You can act like it's not happening. You can act like it's not happening, but it is, because they have told me. And I've seen good players who go out there and throw the draft in order for the coaches to pick up those players later, which why the heck are we even doing that in the first place? If that's the case, and I don't even like the draft. It feels like a beauty pageant for volleyball. It's very weird. You just go in, you're like staring at all these kids. Some of them have played, some of them not. You have a clipboard. For some reason, nobody's really that friendly. It could be a coaching thing. And I try to talk to people. I try to talk to the girls and do whatever. It's just, I don't like it. It's weird. You can do a skills assessment. That's what some of the other things do. And you even the teams out based on the skill assessment. And you can't really cheat that too much, because if you just are bad, you're just going to get thrown on a whatever team, but the skills assessment right there, have the coaches rate the girls on the skills, get it up, add up all the totals, put the teams at the very most equal sum possible, and you have that. But I don't like the draft. Or just leave an option on there. If girls want to request a coach's team, fine, I'll draft, but I get 3 draft picks, whatever. There's other ways to do this, and I know there's a lot. Volleyball is not the only sport for Parks and Rec, and I know I feel like I'm coming down hard on Parks and Rec all the time, because I want to help make this a better program for everybody. I want to make it easier for the Parks and Rec staff. I want to make it easier for the coaches, for the players, for the families. That's why. And I'm not the only coach who has ideas. There's other coaches who have ideas and thoughts on this. We can come together and we can help turn this into a premier thing for the area. And it's not just Parks and Rec. It can be something special. And we can build upon that. So that's why I do it. That's why I care. So hopefully y'all stuck with me through this entire thing. If not, well, at least I got a view out of you for now. But plenty of people on Facebook. We are back this week. We play a team we have not played. I'm not going to say anything about their record, because last time I thought that, we ended up about getting whipped. So I'm not going to say nothing. So best of luck to them. Best of luck to our girls, as we have 2 games to go. We play Wednesday, we play Sunday, then it is the tournament coming up. So best of luck to all the teams. I hope every kid stays injury-free going to the end of this year. I know it's crazy with the end of school. It's just everybody's got different things on their mind right now. So we're finishing out with the spring season. I know it's spring season. We take a couple months off, and we're right back again for the fall one. So it just keeps on rolling. I'm going to continue to release stuff. I had a laptop I had to get replaced, a brand new one, got it fixed, got the new one back, so I'm going to be pumping out more stuff here. I told you I got a lot of stuff. I've been getting that planned out, getting different things, making sure the LLC is all set, the insurance is set, everything is set, because I don't want to give you advice. You go out and get hurt and you blame me. So that's why I've been holding off on that. But I got a lot of other content out there and stuff like that too. So we got big things coming. It is the summer of savages here at Mountaineer Might. We got a lot of good things coming up. We're going to finish out this season. So please join us either in person or via Facebook Live Wednesday night. Hopefully this new camera view is working out for you, where I'm getting you behind the players. Now, I've told you in the camera stuff, I set up my camera and then I flipped the camera. So yes, it is backwards. The girls all of a sudden did not learn how to serve left-handed and hit left-handed, and the numbers are wonky. If I set it there and then flip it the way it can with the best camera, I'm not gonna be able to see where it's even looking. So at least now I can see. So we're making do with it. I did purchase, this has been a whole thing, trying to get cameras for videos and pictures and everything else. I did purchase a very, very good camcorder, video recording one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to live stream the games, and depending on when this gets in. Then I'm also going to try to record the games and put up like an HD video of the game afterwards on the YouTube page. So yes, you can watch the Facebook live stream, but it's choppy, and I can't help that because that's based on the Wi-Fi connection of the building, or the other night we had storms. It just is what it is on that part of it. But as the girls get older and you want to get highlight tape and you want to do different stuff, this will allow for like a 4 or 8K variation to really get highlight videos. Plus it's kind of like a remote control. I can take it and flip it and get real cool like highlight videos of all the girls doing stuff, which is another point. Because again, I want to grow this, and not just with my team. I would love, and not that I'm spying or I even care, I want to do this with other teams. Like I would love to just volleyball coach and vlog and do this stuff full time and just help raise up the area and all the girls in the area too. Not just my team, it's everybody, to be able to provide that. And I would love to be able to support my family that way and keep it a family business. And that's the goal. That's what we're working towards. I mean, I have that, I have the fitness stuff, the other side of stuff. There's a lot, and it's just trying to provide the quality stuff. I've got the right equipment. or at least it's in transit to have all the right equipment to be able to do some big stuff here. So if not by the end of this season, the summer is going to have a ton of content. Then as we get into the fall again, that's going to have a bunch. Hopefully, depending on my ominous thing earlier, that we can all make this continue to happen and work out. So you know how it goes. So thank you all for staying tuned with this one. It is about an hour and 15 minutes, especially by the time I had the video and everything else. If you listen to it, thank you so much. If not, I totally understand. Reach out to me if you need me for anything. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate even the other coaches watching the videos. Still counts for my video count on there, even if you're watching your team or even if you're scouting my team. It's not like we're doing anything special. You know, we're just a group of kids that like to play together and hopefully improve everything. So if you need me, reach out. Other than that, y'all take care. And I will hopefully, well, I won't see you probably unless you show up in person. You will see me Facebook Live Wednesday night for the next game. Thank y'all.